everyone, this is Devleena, welcoming you all to another exciting episode of Icons Behind Brands. I'm here with another special guest with me. She's an entrepreneur and founder of two businesses. She's a business marketing coach and advisor. And prior to her entrepreneur journey, she has dedicated 18 long years to corporate world, building powerful brands, leading global teams. A warm welcome to you, Ms. Devapriya Khanna, who is the founder and director of Connexus Global and founder and managing partner of 212 Degree Brand Labs.
Thank you, Devleena. It's such an immense pleasure to be here. We've been speaking for a while, and I'm glad that we finally be able to record this podcast together. So thank you for having me. Delighted. Yeah.
I'm glad you took a time for us. You're here. You have a vast experience. I have been, we are in touch from quite some time, and I really wanted you to be here and part of Icons Behind Brand. So tell us more about your professional journey and about your background so far, Devapriya.
My journey started long back. I started way back in 1995. So I've got like 18 years of corporate experience before I hung up my corporate boots and became an entrepreneur. In my corporate journey, I've been a marketer. I've launched brands like Nestle and ICICI Prudential Life Insurance when private life insurance opened up in India. I've actually done everything from credit cards to beverages to lifestyle products and alcobev. So my last full-time role was with as the marketing director of a large alcobev company, and that was very thrilling and very exciting. And at the peak of my marketing career, I decided to embark on my entrepreneurial journey. Like you said, I run two businesses, 212 Degrees Brand Lab, and newly launched is Connexus. And you were asking me a little bit about what these companies are all about. So like I said, 212 Brand Lab is really my first entrepreneurial venture that I started after 18 years of corporate experience. This bespoke consultancy firm provides emerging and mid-sized businesses as well as funded startups. Connexus is the newest baby, the new kid on the block, which I launched during the pandemic, actually in December 2021. And it was a passion project. It's taken on a life of its own. It's pretty much a business accelerator and a professional community for female founders to enable them to overcome challenges of access, primarily accessing mentors, affordable business tools, networks, and funds. And we work with women-led businesses that are at the intersection of purpose and profit. Interestingly enough, our target audience are really the missing middle, which is second career professionals, older founders, who are sort of very purpose driven in their new avatars of being entrepreneurs. We are currently focusing in India and the UK, and we have plans to expand to Dubai and Singapore after this.
Wow, that's amazing to know, Devapriya. Such a fabulous experience, starting from brand building to your entrepreneur journey. So what has happened, in the peak of your career, marketing career, what has happened that you thought, let me start from scratch and let me build my own? What was your thought process then?
Such an interesting question. Right. While I had a long corporate career, you must understand that within these assignments that I had, not deliberately, but sort of by coincidence, I was always starting up and launching brands. And that entrepreneurial bug had bitten me really hard for all these years. And I decided to just, sort of become a consultant during this period, So I told you for health reasons, I couldn't continue. So I decided that let me just try my hand, and I tried to be a consultant with some promoter-driven companies. And I did that for a year, and there was no looking back. I was so happy to be my own boss and the master of my destiny that I have always run it like a full-time job. See, we are marketeers, right? And we've always worked in corporates. We've worked with teams. I really feed off the energy of others. I love to have people around me. Um, I would call myself an ambivert, so I'm not essentially an extrovert. Neither am I completely an introvert. I need my me time. I need to go away. So, like, if I've interacted a lot with people, I need like a day to sort of hibernate and be by myself, at least a day. But there's a buzz outside, and it just takes your adrenaline level to rush to another level. And I think as marketeers who essentially work with people, that's something that we need.
That's right.
So
Yeah, you rightly said that is a need, I mean, just to get back to your energy, get back to your high level dynamism. I think this is the need. So, we spoke about the target audience here, startups and SME, and a large part of our listeners and viewers are business owners. They are from startups. There are aspiring business owners also. So I want you to talk on something on SME. You have been involved in SME, which is small and medium enterprises, their brand and marketing. So please enlighten us on the 3 key strategies for SME brand building. If you could help us with that.
right. Great question. So I would say that the most important strategy is to actually focus on strategy. Yeah, and to put strategy before social. And why I'm saying it is that it's a tendency for founders and small business owners to now, because of all the digitalization and social media and everything, the first thing that I'm told when they come to me is that just fix my social media, do my Instagram, do my LinkedIn, all of that. What can we do? So what I consistently tell them is that just wait a minute, don't put the cart before the horse. It is critical to your business to start with a clearly penned down strategy. Founders usually don't have the patience to sit down and put down a strategy, right?
That's right.
And it's like, how do we get to market? How do we start selling? How do we start getting visible on social media?
Yeah.
Let's start there. But my advice would be, please go down. No matter what the size of your business is, start with strategy. You've asked me for 3 strategies, but I will actually talk about 4 because all 4 are important. This is the importance of having a consistent visual identity across all stakeholder touch points, right? Because if you are seen in a consistent manner across all the touch points, this in turn builds credibility and trust, and you look professional. Okay, a lot of startups, a lot of founders, a lot of new businesses tend to overlook this. And when you look at their visual, they're like not really investing in the right vendors, not really investing in marketing as such, and looking at shortcuts and building their brand. But it's very, very important to be consistent and to build a very professional visual identity, which is seen, which is felt. Invest in your logo, invest in your brand voice, invest in your messaging, and that in turn builds credibility and trust. And one more thing I would say is, please invest in your internal stakeholders. When we normally talk about stakeholders, most people and most businesses focus on external stakeholders, which are your customers. But your internal stakeholders, who are your employees, your ambassador, your employees, your investors, people who are working inside of your business, could be your co-founder, could be the people who are just your vendors and partners who are working with you day in and day out. Invest in building credibility with them. Invest in making them feel the ethos of your brand, because they in turn will be your best brand ambassadors, and they will do it because they believe in your brand and their passion will speak for themselves. So when you're an SME on a shoestring budget, these are the 4 things that you really need to follow, and these, to my mind, are non-negotiable.
That's right. So, okay. So now, personal branding. Okay, so which is one of the hot topic as well, and one of your expertise. Throw some light on personal branding versus business branding.
My favorite question of all time, and something that I'm asked all the time. So imagine that a business owner comes and says that I'm hearing a lot about personal branding, and at the same time, my budget is limited. So, what should I build first, my personal brand or my business brand? And what should typically be the answer? What do you think? It's not a trick question. It's a very difficult question to answer. Actually, it's not easy to answer. So it really depends on the nature of your business. See, take any of my corporate jobs. When I move on from a role, what happens? Somebody else comes in. Initially, teams are a little destabilized. Some people you're attached to feel a little sad to see you go.
Yeah.
And when you have certain very loyal vendors working with you, they're like, we don't know how we'll adjust with those with the new person that comes in. But when somebody comes and takes your place in a big corporate, and the visiting card, instead of your name under that designation, in somebody else's name, it takes 5 days for everything to come back to its usual self, right? For an entrepreneur, your credibility and your reputation is equal to your personal brand, and your business success therefore is equal to how strongly you build your personal brand. And obviously, every founder, every business owner, small business owner, medium-sized business owner, newly funded D2C founder will come and will ask me every now and then as to what they need to focus on first, their business brand or personal brand. So when you're a business owner, when you're an entrepreneur, you cannot neglect building your personal brand, because your personal brand is really the sum total of your reputation and your credibility. It's a reflection of your reputation and credibility. For an entrepreneur, for a business owner, it's very important for people to have that KLT factor in place. Do they know them? Do they trust them? It's very important. How consistent is their reputation and their credibility? How consistent is their visibility? Honestly, it doesn't matter. When I work with an entrepreneur, I will look at the business brand later. I will work with the business owner on the back of how I feel about that person, and what other people are talking about that person. Initial stages, when you're building your business, your personal brand is important. But when you're scaling your business, you can strategically decide to take a backseat as far as putting your personal brand out there. In media, let your business brand take the front foot and really be the core of your business, of your branding initiatives. However, as a founder or as a business owner, your personal brand will be built on one-on-one interactions, through networking, through speaking, through thought leadership, and things like that. You can never get away from that.
Awesome, Devapriya. I mean, such a great perspective, and I had so many questions in my mind, and I think you have clarified each and everything. And which in your first answer, which you said, the why. Once you are okay with your why, once you are convinced with why you're doing what you're doing, your purpose, and I think that is the key. And all you need to do, even if it is an uncomfortable zone, but if you are convinced that this is my way, I think you make it somehow.
Yes, absolutely. You find your own way. You find your own. It's all about calibration. You cannot do. Somebody may be very, very comfortable doing maybe 7 posts a week, just showing up all the time, doing reels, dancing, on Instagram. For some of them, they literally just do it in their sleep, and it's part of. And I've actually been with such people who take pictures everywhere, who do shoot videos everywhere, and they turn those into the most amazing reels and all. There are people, age no bar, whatever, dancing, pointing, doing everything, and hats off to them. But honestly, I couldn't do it, and it's not required. It's about what is all right with you, and what is resonating with your target audience. How do they want to see you? And how do you want to appear to them? And is it actually delivering your business message? I mean, I will never tell you to do something which is irrelevant to your sector or to your expertise or whatever it is. These days, people can spot fakeness from a mile. So there's just no point going down that path at all. And there are many tricks and tools and strategies to make personal branding really work for you, even if you're sort of, uncomfortable with the whole concept of personal branding.
Super. Amazing. So, with that, now we will be moving towards a section which is one of my favorite once again. It's a rapid fire round where I will be asking you a question and you have to answer in one word or as minimum as possible. So, what has been your favorite age so far?
Age?
Age, yes.
I think the current age is the best age.
So, what is your favorite work memory?
Okay, so I told you that I was working with an alcobev company,
Yes.
and we were on a market visit down south, and our market visits were all to take cars and pubs and bars and things like that. Those were our markets, right? And this is still India, and I'm a woman, so. So here I'm trying to enter a theka along with like 4-5 of my male peers. So they are all going in, but I'm stopped. You cannot go into a drinking area. Okay, so I'm standing outside, and why this is my favorite work memory, Devleena. I won't say favorite. I mean favorite in the sense, at that moment I decided that I have to do something for diversity and inclusion. That I've had many other experiences as well, but when you ask me this question, this is what comes back to me, because that moment really set the foundation for the work that I was going to do going forwards.
So I think that has made you, what you're doing today.
Actually, it has.
Super. What has changed the most since you have started your own venture, from your entrepreneurship journey?
I think I've become a more well-rounded business person.
Super. So, what advice would you give to a team member or an employee on their first day?
I would tell them to be a learner. And focus more on learning than on delivering from day one. The first 40 days in a job are absolutely crucial, and just be open to feedback. Don't take things personally.
Awesome, that's a great one actually. Okay, so if you could not work in this industry, what profession would you pursue?
I think I'd definitely be an author.
Awesome. When are you most productive?
Definitely mornings, and it's not a cliche, but seriously, mornings are my time when there's so much that's running through my head.
Yeah. Super. What would you change about yourself?
Nothing.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Make different choices.
So with this, we are out of the rapid fire round. And before I wind up the conversation, I want you to talk about you being a businesswoman. Are there any tips you would like to share with other working women?
Being a businesswoman, there are certain tips that I would like to share with other working women. So run your business or your career, depends on whether you're a business owner or you're a corporate woman. Run your business or your career as a full-time job. Especially if you're a business owner, let others see that you mean business. And this is especially important for women. Men are not questioned on this front, but women need to be unapologetic about their ambitions, about their aspirations, and their job is as important as anybody else's job, if not more important. So no excuses, no justifications, nothing. It is a job, full-time job, and everyone should look at it as such. Secondly, I touched upon this. I said, build your team both at work and at home. I'm bringing that back into the conversation as well. The way you would build your team at work, you should build your team at home, because you cannot do justice to both things at the same time unless you have people working with you. So it takes a village to raise a child. Invest in that village. Write down what you can do yourself, what you cannot or don't want to do, and what you want to sort of supervise, and equip yourself accordingly. And if you're not focusing on keeping yourself mentally well, it's really an inside out job. You're not going to be able to take your best self to the workplace. And physical wellness, physical fitness, organizing regular checkups and things like that, having a daily exercise routine, even if it's a 45-minute walk, it's absolutely important so that you can again take your best self to work. Otherwise, you will burn out, and a burnt out woman in business is dangerous both to oneself and to the environment. And one more thing is, don't keep all personal chores for the weekend, because then it becomes absolutely impossible to manage and handle. So just find some time during the week to catch up on your personal chores so that then the weekend doesn't feel unpleasant.
Definitely. And it's very important to choose your well-being hand in hand. It's not something which you should sideline and you can think about it later. So it's extremely important to carry a happy mind so that you can put the same energy in your business, in your thought process, in your team, and in your family as well. So
Absolutely.
extremely important points to share with. So many precise points you have shared, and thank you for sharing such lovely insights with us.